Long ago, in a land far beyond the mountains and forests, there lived a man and a woman in a small, quiet village. They loved each other dearly, and they shared a simple dream moan that seemed small to the world, but meant everything to them. They wished for a child. Day after day, they hoped. Month after month, they waited. And then, one spring morning, the woman discovered she was finally with child. Joy filled their tiny home like sunlight pouring through the windows. But the house they lived in was built beside a grand high wall, and behind that wall lay a gardenia garden filled with the most beautiful plants and herbs anyone had ever seen. This garden was not ordinary. It belonged to a powerful sorceress named Gothel, who guarded it fiercely and allowed no one to enter. One day, the wife stood by the window, gazing out. Her eyes fell upon a bed of fresh green rampion also called Rapunzel. A strange craving gripped her heart. She longed for it, desperately. Day after day, her hunger grew stronger and her face paler. Wife, weakly. If I don't have that plant, I may not survive. Her husband, heart aching for her, decided to do the unthinkable. That night, under the cover of darkness, he climbed the wall into the witch's garden and plucked a handful of the rampion. He returned quickly, and his wife ate it with delight. She felt better, but the next night, the craving returned stronger than ever. So again, the man snuck into the garden. But this time, he wasn't alone. From the shadows, a voice pierced the silence. Gothel, harshly. "How dare you steal from my garden, thief?" The man fell to his knees, trembling with fear. Man, "Please, my wife is with child. She needed it. I meant no harm." Gothel, calmer but cold. "Very well. I will not punish you. But the price is your child. When the baby is born, she will belong to me." Helpless and afraid, the man agreed, and months later, when the baby girl was born, Gothel appeared. She wrapped the child in a cloak of black velvet and disappeared into the night. Gothel named the girl Rapunzel, after the plant that had cost her parents so dearly. Rapunzel grew into a child of radiant beauty. Her hair was like threads of sunlight, golden, soft, and impossibly long. She sang with a voice so clear, birds would stop mid-flight to listen. But Gothel feared the world would take Rapunzel away from her. So, when Rapunzel turned 12, the witch locked her in a tall, hidden tower deep in the forest. The tower had no door, no stairs, only one small window at the very top. No one could reach it except Gothel. Every day, she would arrive at the base of the tower and call, "Gothel, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." And from the window, Rapunzel would lower her long braid, thick and golden, and Gothel would climb up. And so, the years passed. Alone in the tower, Rapunzel sang to the trees and the birds. She dreamed of the stars, of running through grass barefoot, of feeling the wind on her face. But all she knew was the small circle of sky above her tower and the cold touch of the stone walls. One day, a young prince was riding through the forest. He was following a trail of birdsong when he heard a voice unlike any he had ever known. Soft, pure, filled with longing. He followed it until he found the tower. Hidden behind the trees, he watched as an old woman called out, "Gothel, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair!" He watched, astonished, as golden hair fell from the window, and the woman climbed up. When she left, the prince stepped forward. His heart was pounding. He took a breath, looked up, and called, "Prince," gently, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." To his amazement, the braid fell again. He climbed the tower and there she was, Rapunzel, the girl in the songs, the girl in the stories he'd heard in dreams. They looked at each other in silence. Then they smiled, and the world, for both of them, began to change. From that day on, the prince returned often. They talked for hours, laughed, and shared stories. Rapunzel told him of the stars, though she had never touched one. He told her of oceans, mountains, and cities full of color. They fell in love, and soon, they made a plan. He would bring a rope ladder. They would escape. She would finally be free. But one day, Rapunzel asked Gothel a simple question. Rapunzel innocently, "Mother Gothel, why does it take you so much longer to climb my hair than the prince?" Gothel froze. Her eyes darkened. She said nothing. That night, with fury in her heart, she returned with scissors and cut Rapunzel's hair. Then she cast the girl into the desert, far away from the tower, alone, scared, and with child in her womb. As for the prince, Gothel waited for him in the tower. When he climbed up, expecting to see his love, he found only the witch. Gothel, coldly, "You'll never see her again." And with that, she pushed him from the tower. He fell into thorns and lost his sight. Blind and brokenhearted, the prince wandered through forests and wastelands, calling her name day after day. Rapunzel, meanwhile, gave birth to twins in the desert. She lived in silence, but never stopped singing. And one day, her song reached someone. A man, tired and lost, stopped in his tracks. He knew that voice, Prince, whispering, "Rapunzel?" She turned, her eyes filled with tears. She ran to him, held him, wept into his eyes. And as her tears touched his face, a miracle happened. Light returned to his world. He could see her again. Together, they returned to his kingdom, where they were welcomed with joy. Rapunzel was free. The tower was gone. The witch was never seen again. And as the stars shone above the castle, Rapunzel finally looked at them not through a window, but under the open sky, hand in hand with the one she loved. And they lived happily ever after.